Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, your boy, your one and only Galaxy, and I'm signing in to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe, amazing interviews with celebrities, daily recaps and reviews of popular television, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, American Horror Story, The Green Arrow, movie reviews, everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? To the show. Oh, this is Comic-Con Radio. Oh, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us for another episode of Comic-Con Radio. We're getting to be best friends, aren't we? Who's my best friend out there? Who is Galaxy's best friend? This should be called Comic-Con Radio with Galaxy, right? Just like how you see these other podcasts, it's like so-and-so with Mike whatever. This is what it should be because it's all about Galaxy. Galaxy is here for you because I love you guys. I'm in it to win it. I'm here every day. Ooh, yes, I love it. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Thank you for tuning in to Comic-Con Radio. Thank you. You know, it takes quite a bit of a listener to listen to, someone for a while. And we love those quite a bit of a listeners. So can we have more of those? We want to hit 1 million subscribers. We want to have 500,000, listeners on a daily basis. We got to get to that. And you got to help us, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because you got to tune in. You got to subscribe on iTunes, go to Overcast, go to TuneIn, wherever you can find Comic-Con Radio. Subscribe. And you could always give us a call too at 1-800-976-0305. Go on social media at Comic-Con Radio, which we love your support on it. OMG. Or you go to our website. That's comiccon-radio.com. And you can leave us an email or leave us a message, send us an email, or however you want to do it, because we're here for you. We're here for you. We want to be here for you. Now, today's episode, you probably read the subject line. That's why you click this episode. Come on, I don't even have to tell you, but I am going to tell you. It's The Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 2, Review and Recap. Yay! Don't you love our recap review shows? Do you love our interview shows more? Do you love our event shows more? Do you love our review shows? What do you love? I hope you love it all because we're going to do it all. We have to do it all because it's just a do-it-all type of thing. It's just a do-it-all. This episode was kind of crazy, right? It had the fairy godmother, Salem times and the witchcraft stuff, which everything just kind of like goes with each other. Well, not kind of. It does go with one another, right? Every episode is all magical. This is a magical 4th season for The Legends of Tomorrow. And, Constantine is a perfect addition for the magical season 4. Matt Ryan is doing it up. He's doing great. I love him on the show. He's not overdoing it. He's not underdoing it. He's just doing it right. And, they're not getting along all the way because you know how he is, his attitude, his pushback, the way he comes across to everybody and does his magic Does my magic, everybody. Move aside. I'm Constantine. Was that a good one? I think that was like my best impression yet, wasn't it? Oh, step back, you mighty. Step back and let me do the Constantine impression. Okay, step back. Boom, send them back. Oh my God. I'm too crazy. If you know the Oscar Mayer baloney, right? How they sang that song. I'm gonna sing Crazy. My middle name is Crazey. La 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 na 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 me woo. Anyways, let's get into this. I ain't wasting your time. Don't you? What? What did you just say? Did you just say I wasted your initial and 3 minutes of this initial start of this episode? I didn't. Okay, you can fast forward, but I hope you don't, because I want you to listen to everything. I got to tell you something. You know, I'm here by myself. Well, I'm not here by myself in the studio. We have our team here, our lovely team. Take a round of applause, everybody. Yay. Gotta. But you know what? I'm here on the mic. I'm solo. I am the solo maestro on the mic. And I'm here doing the show with all of you, the fans. I love you guys, friends, all of you guys. And it's amazing. And, you know, for me to for me to give you how I'm feeling, I got to express it really well. So I'm expressing to you how I feel. That's how excited I am. I'm this excited. It could be 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 5 a.m., because I record on weird times. I'm in the studio 20 hours a day for us to grow our universe, right? It's our universe, and we're going to live how we want to, and we're going to do how we want it. That's right. So sometimes my energy is a little crazy. I gotta admit it, because people are like, Galaxy, you so crazy. I love it. You so crazy, though. You're like turned up 100%. The reason why is because I just feel that amazingly energetic because of everything that we do. You know, we do some interviews, and some of these actors and celebs and people that's involved in a lot of these shows are like, you know, I love my job. I love what I do. This is for you. That's all it's about. It's about you. You, and you. And yeah, you right there. You in your car. You looking in the mirror right now while you're driving and listening to me. That's a no. Only listen to me and drive. Don't look in the mirror. If you have to choose between anything in this world, just listen to me, Galaxy, on Comic-Con Radio. So, you know, the episode begins with a lot of serious issues, right? A lot of serious issues. Nah, the Legends don't really have serious issues, except like history changing and changing today's time and stuff like that. So I love how the Time Bureau is more, what do you say, in with the episodes now. Remember seasons 1, 2, even 3. 3, Time Bureau was slowly like creeping in to the episodes. But now it's like Time Bureau, ship. Time Bureau, ship. Time Bureau's office, ship. Time Bureau's office, ship. Right? Right. And it's kind of cool. It's ultra cool. I love it. I love how it's evolving, because it can't just be about the ship running around, you know, going here, going there, solving things. Now this adds some flavor, some depth, some, you know, what is that? Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. It adds that. You know what I'm saying? Je ne sais quoi. Love it. We gotta love the je ne sais quoi, right? So there's a lot of things going on. There's a Salem witch trials, and there's a lot of emotion with Zari, right? Zari, she's very emotional. And, you know, she has that self-control. You know, she isn't about to change the timeline to save her mom, right? She won't do that because she knows it might have big repercussions and it'll ruin things. It'll ruin things. And you're going to see in episodes to come of what happens when you try to change the timeline. You know, but she wants to root out anything that reminds her of it, right? And remember the scene when she sees Jane being condemned as a witch, it's like a too familiar situation or scenario for her. And it builds and builds throughout the episode until she directly confronts the people who are persecuting Jane. She lashes out and attacks them, right? She's powerful. She has that totem. She got the gift. She got the power. She knows what she can do. And that's a powerful moment, right? And Tala, she does it so good, right? Tala does it good. She plays the role good, and she really does it just right on point because she wants to basically do something even though she can't help herself. You know, she can't change what happened to her mom, but she can at least take out her frustration. But you know what? Is taking out your frustration on others right? I don't think so. You know, it's happened to you. What can you do about it? You either move on, you learn from it, or you do something about it. But in this case, because the time stuff is involved and it can have crazy repercussions, she has to just like move on, right? Because it's not right for her to take out her frustrations on these people. These people are so simple-minded, like they believe anything. You've seen some of these Salem type of movies where they like just point the finger, or little kids say something and the parents are like, oh, the parents will believe the little kid. They'll just blame their sibling about being a certain thing and they'll believe it. That's how these people are. Their mindset is so simple, right? And, she's hurt. She's hurt, and she wants to hurt others because she can't hurt the people that affected her mom and her. She can't, because that'll change so many things, but she wants to hurt others. It shows, right? And, she stops herself. You remember that. She stops herself. She's just like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? And it's just so emotional. It's incredible. And it's a huge thing for the season to see this because it shows that even though they have superpowers and they can do anything, they have to be in reason. They just have to, right? Because in this world, there's all sorts of people, all sorts of things. And what do we do? What do you do as a person, in the face of evil? Right? How can we combat it? Do we lash out like Zari did at first? Or do we take a moral high ground? Even if that means that we can't save the ones we love. Right? It's just crazy. And, you can't just do whatever you want. Right? You can't have everything in the world and, do whatever you want because you think it's okay, and you're just going to go and zippity-doo-dah, everything magically appears, right? Lucky charm it all the way. But you know what? Zari did save Jane, right? And her daughter. And she's trying to make sure no one else is killed, right? But it doesn't really affect anything because, like I said, there's a freaking crazy fairy godmother, right? That's on the side of the daughter. They think the daughter knows witchcraft or the daughter is a witch or she has those magical powers, but she doesn't. It's the fairy godmother that she has that's helping her. And this fairy godmother is not the nice type. She is bottling up so much aggression, or has, because she has so much against just humans. And she's manipulating Jane's daughter to just do evil things, right? But it's kind of cool because while she's there, she dippity dots and doodly doots and, the musical songs play and all that stuff. And it's kind of cool, right? And it's just fun to watch it. It's a fun episode for Legends of Tomorrow. There's history, which, Salem witch trials was true. Fairy Godmother is fake because it's from, a Disney thing. You know what I'm saying? And all sorts of other stuff. And it's not funny. That's from Disney, but they're not. They're DC, which is Warner. Yeah. Which is cool, though, because who doesn't, know a Disney movie in this universe or any multiverse, right? Or any multiverse. And wasn't it funny that, they got turned into like a pair of little piglets and, they were trying to talk and someone actually understood them. They're like hoinking, and they understood what they were saying, which is kind of funny. It's so funny, right? And, back to Zari, she was disobeying a lot, right? She disobeyed Sarah and everybody else because, like I mentioned earlier, she's just out and at it. And I know I'm recapping and reviewing this episode a little different. I'm not going from like beginning to end like I normally do. I'm kind of jumping around. This was a very jumping around episode. It had like a lot of moral lessons. It had a lot of things going on that I thought was important to like mention first, and then now maybe go a little bit into like, the flow of it, right? And just to slowly kind of talk about everything, as the show goes by, right? And, we have to understand that these guys are just after magic, right? And Constantine is after magic, and he doesn't care, right? Because you saw in the episode, like, he doesn't care. He just wants to, like, put whoever away and just send them back. That's just kind of like his job. He's like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I have to, And it's cool that they have him because this season he's needed so badly, right? Because everything is just so magical. It's just so magical, and it's fun. I like this magical twist of season 4 for the Legends. It's fun, right? It's not as dark as last season, with, the father and daughter crazy dark duo, right? It's different. It's more fun, more lighthearted. You're learning things, you're seeing stuff. And also, have you noticed that the team has lightened up? Like it's not as many characters, right? They're going on more adventures with a very slim team, right? Nate's wanting to stay at the Time Bureau. He doesn't want to go back on the ship. He keeps like making up excuses that he has things to do, but we know what's up with him. We know what's going on. He just wants to not be on the Wave Rider. He wants to just be out and about, right? And, it's kind of like a 5-sum now. It used to be like a 9-sum. I think the 9-person Legends of Tomorrow team for me was better because it was so many diverse characters and it gave depth. Even though these 5 can handle it, they're trying to make up for it with the Time Bureau, right? Right? They're trying to make it up with Jess, as head of Time Bureau. Jess is her real name. So, and it's cool. It's cool, but, we got to keep going because The Legends is an amazing show. And you guys wanted, Constantine in it, and you got him. And, he's delivering. I think he's delivering. I think so. And I love this fairy godmother thing. So, it's kind of a fun part of our Legends journey for today. You know what I'm saying? So to get back onto the sync of things, this lady Jane, right? Her name is Jane Hawthorne, and she's being dragged away for witchcraft. And her daughter Prudence, is begging for mercy, so they don't murder her. And like I said, these townspeople are simple-minded, right? And then all of a sudden, these crows arrive, right? To get into the order of the show. I want to get a little bit back in the order of the show to kind of express what's going on because maybe some of you saw it, maybe you haven't, but I want to bring my little twist into it. And, as those crows come and peck on everyone, they think it's the mom doing it, but they don't know that, it's Prudence, right? And, Constantine helps them, deduce that it's Prudence who's hosting a demon and using it to protect herself. And you know what? The five, legends, they return to Salem and they prepare themselves for a fight, only to find out that Prudence demon is a fairy godmother, like I mentioned earlier, straight out of, Disney, like a Disney hell movie, right? But the fairy godmother is so bubbly, right? She is bubbly, 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 right? And, like I mentioned earlier, there's like songs playing while she's like talking. And, she's there to make Prudence's dreams come true. But Constantine always knows that these things have underlining, needs. And they do things on purpose. They're not just there to help out. They're there for their own pleasure. He knows what's up. He's been through it. He's like a master at this stuff, right? And he knows that she's not simply tossing around harmless glitter and singing, catchy songs and theme songs of movies. She's a demon, who can't be sent to hell because Prudence would also be sent. So they have to kind of like separate these two, and, they need Prudence to survive this. And so, they want her to start trusting them and not the fairy godmother because they got to separate them. That's the only way they're going to get through, right? But she doesn't want to separate at the moment, right? Because they're strangers and this is hers. She called on this thing. She called on this fairy godmother. They're strangers to her. The legends are strangers. Who are they? They just come and telling her, hey, get rid of this lady. And the fairy godmother is all gleeful and happy and smiley-go-lucky and all that. And to Prudence, she looks like harmless, right? Like her grandma would have looked, right? But with a nice prom dress on, right? It's crazy. And it goes into Zari promising Prudence that they're here to help and they're going to help her mom, Jane, right? And Prudence has to stop her, fairy godmother because she's violent, right? And what happens is the legends bring Prudence onto the Wave Rider, right? And it's funny because at that point they even give her a Bee-Boo doll, right? And that's cute, right? So she can play while they wait. And it's funny because, look at this. Kids her age, preteens or teens, they learn modern things so quick. Like Prudence is from Salem time. And they give her a modern thing and she already figures it out. Isn't that funny? It's funny, right? Right? But, bringing Prudence on board means bringing the fairy godmother there too. Because she's like, stuck to her by the hip. And, she laughs loud as Constantine tries to find a loophole around her connection with Prudence. And, he finds out that, she's there to torture people, right? She finally reveals that what she's doing is torturing people instead of creating fun things or, carriages and mice into humans to meet Prince Charming or whatever, right? And we find out that the fairy godmother is locked away or was locked away for 1,000 years by humans. And she wants revenge. She wants revenge for these humans, for shunning her, right? And it's not clear what happened, in that time. Because I bet you this is the same fairy godmother from Cinderella, right? It has to be. Maybe she went berserk and they had to send her away, right? It's crazy. It's nuts, right? And she can go and come when she wants. She has so much power. She's powerful. And she disappears because she has a plot. She's manipulating Prudence. Prudence thinks she's a helpful granny, but she's actually manipulating her, right? And you know what? this is like a tug of war, right? It's a tug of war between the legends and the fairy godmother for Prudence. And Prudence has to make that decision because a lot of things are at stake, right? And, like I said earlier, Sarah tells Zari, like I said earlier, that, Jane has to die during the witch trials. This is like a true thing. This is like a true situation. She has to die to ensure that like history goes smoothly, right? But Prudence is not having that. She's like, okay, you're here to help. My fairy godmother said she can help me and save my mom. You're telling me that my mom has to croak? What kind of help is that? Right? And Prudence is like, I need to go now. And her fairy godmother is like, all right, let's go. Boom. And they leave. Right? They leave. And, it's a situation that's very sticky because Zari wants to be so helpful. Like I mentioned earlier, she sees herself in that situation. She couldn't help her mom, but she's trying to help a mom, right? She's trying to help a mom. And that's the part when she turns Ray and Mick into pigs, right, out of a fairy tale. And it's funny, Mick and Constantine are going at it so much. Have you noticed? Like from the beginning of the first episode, they're like at each other's neck. And it's like constant. Like Constantine, right? Like Constantine. And, back in like 2018, because it's current times, right? Nate's taken like a step forward, right? With the job at the Time Bureau, right? And things aren't going that well with his father, Hank, but he wants to stick around. I don't know if he wants to stick around because he wants to still be around his parents or he's tired of the Wave Rider or what's going on. It's crazy. And going back to, the situation with Nate and his father, to us, it doesn't seem like much. Oh, you didn't come to a ball game or, oh, you weren't there emotionally for me. But for some people, that's a major thing. To each their own. I say to each their own. You could feel however you want with your parents. Some parents are ultra giving. They give everything in this world, but they're not there. Some parents are there all the time, but they can't give everything. Some parents do this more, that more. It just depends. And it is what it is, right? Nobody's perfect. No parents are perfect. No kids are perfect. We just got to take life as it is and just be ourselves, be true to ourselves. And that's what's happening with Nate here. He's trying to be true to himself, right? And I think by him staying and trying to help the Time Bureau and being part of all that stuff, he's feeling normal a bit, right? He's feeling a bit normal in this situation right now. Also, Nate is having a hard time telling his father what he does for a living. Because father does bring up the money situation. And Nate doesn't need money. When you're on the Wave Rider, all your food's given to you, your travel expenses, your living, your board. Yeah, you need money so you could save it, so you could like have a future too. But you're kind of stuck as a legend. That's it. You're a legend. You're a superhero. You're part of a team. And he has a hard time telling his father, right? He has a hard time. And, Nate is a hero. He's a historic hero, right? And, he's been crashing at the Time Bureau headquarters because he's just procrastinating what he wants to do. He doesn't know, right? And Ava's kind enough to like not say anything. She's like that cool boss that everybody wants. And she's helpful. And they're smart. They understand what's up. I don't think you can get a job at a Time Bureau if you're not smart or near genius because you're messing with time, right? Especially being like the head person, right? And, the Time Bureau needs help, right? They need help because they're trying to pull financing or else they're going to get shut down. And, Nate runs an all-nighter trying to help. right? And she's worried about the budget proposal with the Department of Defense, right? Because these are massive amounts of money. This ain't a joke. These are billions of dollars you need. Come on, they're time machines. You think these things are cheap? Come on. Time machines ain't cheap. I don't know how much it costs really, but let's just say they're expensive because there's other programs that cost billions of dollars and it ain't time. It ain't going back and forth in time, right? And it doesn't have to do with like solving magic and fixing anomalies in history and going, here and there. With a freaking time ship and stuff like that. But you know what? Nate has a plan, right? He has a plan. And he's her wingman right now, And he says, in exchange, I got to live here. And she lets him live there in the workplace, which is kind of cool, but it's funny because that's like an office. Why would you want to sleep in an office? Right? I know he has no money, but, they could probably help you. They have $1 billion or $1 trillion budget, right? And the next day happens, but Nate can't hold up his end of the bargain. He can't hold it up. And why can't he hold it up? Because he saw his dad. His dad's the DOD representative. Oh, my Lord. He's in deep duty, right? And he's like, I can't go. And he takes Gary. Now, Gary, he's not the person I would put, especially Nate's father, Hank, is a particular type of person, very conservative, very straightforward. Like, look how he is with his son. How do you think he's going to be with Gary, right? Right? I don't want to call him Goofy Gary, but like, silly Gary. And you don't put a budget meeting with your weak person. You got to put a budget with the honchos. They got to go pull that budget meeting so they can get the money. But he can't be there. He can't face his father. He can't, right? So he forces Gary, teaches him what's up. And, Gary's attempt at proving that magic exists by showing his nipple that got bitten off by a horse or a unicorn doesn't convince Hank at all. And instead of even not giving him money, Hank's like, you guys are gone. I'm shutting this place down. It's over with. And Ava goes back. She's like, what do we do? What do we do? And, Nate's like, you know what? He comes to a resolution. He has to talk to his father. He has to talk to him. He has to get this in control because the Time Bureau is no more. That means the legends are no more. That means everything's no more. No. This can't happen. This is your papi, right? And he has to convince them. He has to convince them, right? It's crazy. And, Nate heads to the Wave Rider for help, right? And he finds the halls empty, but he finds, the pig. That's Ray. And he talks to him like he understands him, right? Like freaking Charlotte's Web. He's like, hey, what's up? And the pig's like, I'm chilling. And it's funny, right? And he brings the pig back, or the Ray pig back, to the Time Bureau as evidence, right? But, it's a pig. You take a baby pig and you show it to the head of, or the representative of the DOD trying to approve billions of dollars budget, and you bring a pig and say, this is magical, this is my buddy, father or son or not, they're going to be like, you crazy? You need to go. This place is shut down. I would have said that. I would have said, son, you're on crack. I got to close this place down. You need to go into rehab center because you just grabbed a pig and you brought it to me and said, this is my buddy. And magic turned him to that. Yeah. Right? No, not. And, back in Salem time, the legends need to find a way to convince Prudence, that her mother's okay with the decision and the situation. And Zari already tried to take care of that, right? I explained it earlier, but that didn't work because her totem got broken and things got messed up and it just went all sour, right? And Sarah said, we can't change history to protect one woman, and try to talk to Jane into escaping. But, Jane made up her mind, telling Zari that Prudence is strong enough to move past the anger because her faith is her faith. And Zari tries, but she can't. And Jane just accepts her faith. And even at her trial, Jane doesn't protest, as the cuckoo Reverend Parsons stabs at a birthmark on her neck and claims she's been burned by the Devi boy, right? Devi Devers, the Devlin. And instead, Zari's the one who can't stand it in the end, right? And that's when she used her totem and she blew the Reverend away and threatened the man in the room, and she becomes violent and basically, chokes them and does all that stuff. And the women start going crazy. And that's what I explained earlier. Right? I'm going back and forth. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And there's just so much going on. And now Zari gets caught. And Zari is accused of being like the mega witch. Right? And she's ordered to be burned at the stake right next to Jane. So she couldn't help Jane, couldn't help Prudence, used her powers, or tried to use her powers, and now she's stuck on a stake about to be burned, right? And Sarah does her best to undo the mess. She even arrives with a crossbow and does whatever she does as Sarah, but it's Prudence who hits pause. She freezes time with the fairy godmother, right? And she tells her, help release mother and Zaria from the bonds, right? Then orders the fairy godmother to burn the Reverend. And all of a sudden you see the Zari and the mom off the stake, and then the Reverend is on the stake. Boop, it's like a switcheroony, right? It's a switcheroony. And the Reverend's about to be burned. But Zari realizes just how fighting fire with fire doesn't work, right? And she tells Prudence and she advises her, stop. People always fear what they don't understand. I always say that, ladies and gentlemen. People fear what they don't understand. They didn't understand Bruce Lee. They feared him. They didn't understand him. When you don't understand something, you're scared. So you react with violence because that's the only thing a lot of humans know, but you shouldn't. We're all equal. Right? We're different but equal. And I say that in every episode. We're equal but different. And it shouldn't matter. We just got to have that patience and that faith. And, this is a big lesson. I tell you guys, what did I tell you guys? Or what do I tell you guys? Look at these episodes from a different point of view. Learn from it. Educate yourself. And see where you can grow. Because it's not just a TV show. It's our universe, baby. It's our universe. And it teaches us so much. And I love that. And I'm a number one fan for this reason. And I hope I'm expressing it in a way where you understand. And you're like, okay, nah. And I'm a little more serious this episode. Usually I joke a lot and I do a lot of gags and stuff like that. But this one's, I'm a little more serious because it kind of like, it has a serious note to it because it has an underlining. A lot of people go through this. They have issues with their moms and pops and their kids, and they don't know how to express themselves, and it's too late, right? And you can't change back time. It is what it is, right? And, when people fear what they don't understand, that fear turns them into monsters. It turns them into evil. I said that, right? And she says, we can't let us, turn into monsters. Or we can't let it turn us into monsters. Can't. We got to be ourselves. We got to be good. We got to have faith. We got to make it happen. And Prudence listens and finally releases the fairy godmother, right? Releases her from everything. Says, you're released. I don't need you anymore. And her spell reverses everything. And, Ray turns back into a human, and Hank immediately jumps back and grants Ava the $4.2 billion. He's like, oh, okay, the pig just turned into Ray Palmer from Palmer Technologies. And the Time Bureau got their money, right? And he just ensures that none of this crap ever happens, you know what I'm saying? And, before praising his son for becoming a superhero and putting his history degree to good use, right? Ava offers Nate a job, right? It's cool. And, he doesn't accept it right away, but he decides to stay behind instead. And, he wants to help more. I think he likes a desk job. I think he wants to do that, right? And he sends Ray back through the portal to the Wave Rider. And that fairy godmother, that part was so crazy, right? She tries to make a deal. But before that, right, Hank and Nate, they want to make everything back to father and son stuff. They do. And, they say, let's do a dinner. Let's make it happen. Let's do another round, right? We have each other. And they do this like bro hug. All of them. Everybody. Bro hugs for everybody. This episode's cray-cray. It's a cray-cray. And back in Salem, Constantine traps the fairy godmother and he tries to strike a deal with her. He could use an ally. He tells her, hey, let's be allies. Help me with this. But she says, no way. She knows who that thing is that's after him. And, she said she'd rather go to hell than face what's going to face Constantine soon. And he's like, whatever, you're going to go back now to hell, you evilish woman. And he sends her to the depths of hell as she wishes. She wanted to go back. She's like, this thing is so crazy. It's so nuts. I'm so scared of it that send me to hell. Hell is better than facing this thing, right? And Zari, meanwhile, gives great news to the Hawthorns. She tells Jane and Prudence that they're free and they should just jam, change scenery, go, get out of here, And Sarah doesn't stop her from affecting history because I think it's more important that Zari gets that because she needs that at this point. She needs it. She just needs to do that. And she tells Zari back on board the ship that she wants to help Zari, through her anger, through her pain, towards what happened to her family, right? Not to shut it out. That history may need fixing, but people do too. People need fixing too. Come on. We all need fixing, right? Oh my God. OMG. This episode was a very tricky episode. I loved it. But also, it was different. It was different than normal. There was a lot of things that had to be said. I went back and forth a lot. I went from the beginning to the end to the middle to here and there. I didn't go in my normal order because I just have to express myself a certain way sometimes. We're all feeling something some days. We're feeling this or that, and we got to express it, right? And I want you guys to subscribe to our shows because, look, I just don't do reviews and recaps and interviews. And by the way, we have an interview coming up with a very amazing young lady, Jennifer Junn from Van Helsing. She plays Ivory, the legendary vampire, Ivory, the 300-year-old vampire. And we're going to have her interview live. And we're releasing the interview on when? November 8th. November 8th, which is, a Thursday from now, something like that. And we're going to be releasing that interview, and you're going to get to listen to her. And then you could watch Van Helsing the next day. It's going to be amazing. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing hour, 10 minutes, hour, 15-minute interview, something like that. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. It's going to be awesome. And I'm excited. She's wonderful. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, my book's coming out. We're like 10 episodes away of me releasing it. I know I said several, but several means many, so I can't get into numbers. Like a friend of mine says, she's like, well, 2 doesn't just mean a couple. Yeah, 2 means a couple, several means a bunch. Few means 3 to me. So I'll let you know about that. Also, got a couple other secret episodes coming out that I'll announce and give you guys special passage for that. And thank you for listening. I love you. You could always call me. Leave me a message. Say something. Hi, whatever. Toll free, 1-800-976-0305. Go to comicon-radio.com or on social media at Comicon Radio. This episode took a lot of energy out of me because even though it was simple, it was meaningful. It was simple. They go back in time. They save a lady that's being accused of witchcraft. Her daughter has a fairy godmother. They try to talk her into sense. They try to send the fairy godmother back. And one of their staff members is trying to get a budget approved. When you look at it that way, it's simple, right? But I had to say it in a certain way because I always want it to be informative, educational, fun, amazing, cool, stupendous, and fabulous. And I hope you like this episode. Please come back, please. Some episodes are better than others. Some are excellent, some are excellent, and some are okay. But you know what? We're always learning. I've done hundreds, if not thousands of episodes for various things, and I'm still learning, right? Can you agree with me? We're always learning. So I hope you like the show. I hope you like what I have to say. I hope you like Comic-Con Radio, and there's more to come. It's the holiday season, right? November. Thanksgiving's coming soon. It's going to be Christmas, then New Year's. We got a lot of contests coming up. Also, when we announce my book the next week, right? I'm going to announce the book, the name of it, and then slowly where to get it and all that stuff. We're going to also release a first contest. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. So we're going to look in our vault. We're going to see what we're going to give away, and we're going to do it awesome. Again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Comic-Con Radio. Like always, it's been a pleasure, schmeasure, or fresher. I have to say that, right? But it's been a pleasure. I love you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Please subscribe. This is your boy, Galaxy, signing out from another amazing episode of The Legends of Tomorrow Season 4 on Comic-Con Radio. Love you guys. Till next time, which is tomorrow. Love you. And love you. Check you out then. Peace. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comicon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.